I've shown before in previous episodes, we're on the macro tree. Our our focus was once on the earth in previous episodes, and then we moved up to Offset, and then we're finally here at Sebek the God Dog. And so we're going to expand Sebek out so that we can see the full anatomy, and we're going to move in and see just how we're affected, okay, when we combine Sebek with all of the different components, okay. So with Sebek, we're dealing with environments, okay, cool and dry environments, and that has to do with our physicality as well, with the nervous system and the lungs, okay. With offset in the unbalanced state, we're going to start with unbalanced first, and then we're going to go to the balance so that we can see how to pull it together to bring it towards the center of the tree here, and then thereby raising the JED. Okay, so this is our series. We have to focus on raising the JED because it's time. Okay, I'm actually experiencing certain resistances that are telling me that either you do it or you don't. Okay, so we're going to go forward no matter what, and we're going to walk everybody through. In case you're unfamiliar with the science, we're going to walk through this science, and then we're going to come back again and have a review of the spiritual anatomy revisited. Okay, and the revisited aspect is going to give you more of a detail about all the angles and all the symbologies that go into this, and it's going to show you where all of the religions get their symbols from. Okay, sometimes you can look, and if you're daydreaming a little bit, you can actually see some of these symbols in here. Okay, you can see like the double cross, but we're going to get to all of that in a later time. And there's other symbols in there as well. So we'll start with offset, and we're going to work our way up the tree, always keeping in mind that our goal is to balance each of the sephiro, each of the laws, each of the principles, whether they're on the masculine pillar or whether they're on the feminine pillar, and we're going to balance them and bring them center so that we can use that as propulsion up the tree. Okay, this is how we're going to raise the JED. First is the gathering of the information, and then acting on that information. It gives us the experience, which gives us knowledge, and knowledge is power. Okay, but knowing is half the battle. You have to enact that knowledge to actually be in the power. Okay, to empower yourself. So we're going up. We're going to see how the offset and the Sebek energy combines. In the unbalanced state, we see that we get false and erroneous beliefs. Okay, and this is where we are today. We actually experience it in almost everything that we're doing, including the science that we're involved with, including the religions that we have. These are dealing with false and erroneous beliefs because we cannot actually know, and so we're told to have faith and so forth and so on. And then we see that in a lot of cases the fortune or misfortune rather is either comparable, or worse at times than someone who never even heard of whatever the particular faith is. Okay, so we can see how that works. But when we have offset, okay, in the balanced of Sebek, we have balanced trance, we have good memory, we have good education, we have good logical thinking and attention to detail. Okay, that's Sebek's thing, is detail. But when you have memory and attention to detail, you have something very good, very auspicious. And so that would be balanced enough to support the twins that come naturally forward, as the age progresses. Okay, and I need to come back to kind of address what I'm meaning by that. Each level has a particular age, and when we see schematics that deal with chakras, we know that certain chakras come alive naturally, as the years go by. So even in the infant stages, these chakras come forward. Your base chakra, your root chakra, which is represented by the earth, which would be red. I had to correct myself on the first episode because I had made a mistake and said that this was the first chakra, and it's not. Okay, but this would be your root chakra, which is red, which would happen in the very first years of your life, and so forth. And so each of these has years, but once you get to this portion here, this is where intelligence kicks in. Okay, so now we're dealing with logic. Okay, the logic of Sebek. In the negative side of it, when you're dealing with Sebek, double Sebek, you have false ideas and false facts. That's just straight up how it is. Okay, but in order to balance this, because it's already leaning on a polarization here on the pillar, on the positive pillar, we need to bring it together by being excellent in logic, and it would be excellent in technology. Now, Sebek, pure Sebek like this with technology, we know that's a natural limitation in and of itself. So we have to take it for what it is. Okay, it's only here in the pelvic region, so it's going to only furnish solutions for survival at best. It's about making the mundane easier. Okay, so when you achieve that success of technology, then you're able to move here to the imagination of Heru, which if it is imbalanced, it shows up as illusions and addictions to pleasure, negligence, illogical and false concepts, and then the likelihood or the willingness to fall into schemes to make things easier. Okay, but when we balance Heteru with Sebek energy, we have strong and positive imagination. Okay, and attention to details. And once again, okay, these two, when combined, they activate that solar plexus right here. Let me get that. Okay, I'm always going to draw this up here so that everybody can see that. We know that the solar plexus is key. It's a key chakra area, and this area actually is called the mouthpiece of God. And it corresponds to ideas like having a gut feeling whenever you're dealing with something that you're not expecting, but you're sensing it with your gut, which is the mouthpiece of God. Okay, so this actually gives more stability so that you can actually rise into the heart chakra, which is known as Heru. Heru, when imbalanced, is an argumentative, because he's fiery. Okay, he's argumentative and disrespectful to authority, or disrespectful, period. Okay, he would harbor false beliefs, because this is the domain of Sebek, is beliefs. Okay, his thing is, if you look at his chest, there's a cross there. I wonder if there's a coincidence there. We know that there is no such thing as coincidences, but the cross is representative of the crossroads. When you're coming to a point in your life where you have to make decisions to go left or right, or straight ahead, or take a back seat, backing up. That's what that cross is about. And so when we're bringing those two together with Heru, you can have let's see, if you're bringing Sebek and Heru together in a balanced way. Okay, we see he's back in the middle of the tree, so his thing is always in alignment with reaching the very top. So with that, you would have a combination education, controlled by an enlightened will. Okay, and that enlightened will carry him further, because this enlightened will allows him to open his mind up to the wisdom of Ma'at and Tahuti, and the enforcement of law even on himself. Okay, and the appreciation of structure and limitations as imposed by Sekert. So we have those things going on.